Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina here in Bogotá, Colombia, way up in the Andes Mountains. It's 6:27 p.m. Bogotá time, which means it's probably 5:27 p.m. in the Panhandle of Florida. And today we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's about K1 visas. K1 visas, K1 visas, K1 visas. What are your questions? Adjustment of status, adjustment of status. What are your questions? How about let's talk about the conditional green card. Now, did you know when you come to the United States of America and you get married within 90 days, your green card is good for 2 years. Your green card is good for only 2 years. And you must lift the conditions off your probationary green card 90 days before it expires. So you get to America, you get married within 90 days, you get your green card, you look at your green card, and there's an expiration date on there. That expiration date will be from 2 years from the issue date. 90 days before that expiration date, you must file more paperwork with immigration. You got to do more paperwork and lift those conditions off that 2 year green card. If you do not lift those conditions off your 2 year green card, you will get a notice, a letter from immigration that you're going to be deported. So don't get that letter, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Jacob Myers, hello, Diego. Mr. Nahas, hello, what's up, guys? What's going on in your world? Jacob is in Colorado. Jacob Myers, fiance is in the interview right now. Whoa, the scary visa interview right now in Manila. Fingers crossed, I'm outside the embassy. Jacob, you're outside the embassy. Yeah, they won't let you in the Philippines. They won't let you in there. No, they won't let you in there. But you're good. Very soon, in about 10 more minutes, your beneficiary will have his green card, his visa approved. Mr. Nahas, you will get it. Don't worry. That's right. Not much longer for Jacob. Jacob's been back and forth from Colorado to the Philippines, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He had to go through a long wait because of a sputum test, and that sucked. But I knew it was going to be okay. You know, it's just more money for the hospital, right, in Manila. And the embassy and the State Department are making them do it. Arsenal forever. Hello, Diego. One dependent. When I file taxes for I-134, if not listed, is it okay? Thank you, Diego. The great Diego. Well, I wouldn't say I'm the great Diego. I just like to hang out with you guys and answer your visa questions. Because 99.9% of the time, I'm right. And you get it for free. Free info. You can't beat it. So the question is, one dependent when I file taxes. How do you mean one dependent? For the I-134, if not listed, is that okay? The I-134 is not listed where? What is your question? Is it? Thank you, Diego. Listen, Arsenal forever. When you file your taxes single, okay, you file your taxes single, you file a single. If you got married in 2022, when you file your taxes in 2023, you file as married. You have to. Okay? So I'm not fully understanding the question. For the I-134, if not listed, what do you mean if not listed? If what is not listed where? On the I-134, when you fill that out as the sponsor, okay, if you don't have any dependents, when you write your name on the I-134s, dependents will be zero. You don't have any dependents; it's zero. When you get married, and your beneficiary is in the USA, and you file for the adjustment of status, and you file your taxes in 2023, in 2024 for 2023, then you're going to be including your beneficiary. I don't really know how to answer your question. Explain it to me. Ask me the question a different way. Jacob Myers, the Philippines won't let anyone in is bad noise and smog. Yeah, Manila's noisy. It's like Bogotá. Manila is a big city. Bogotá is a big city, so it's busy. There's traffic. You know, it's noisy. I have a hard time making videos here because of the noise from the traffic from the road. And we're 4 stories up. Michelle, hey Diego, when are you guys going back to the USA? Well, Karina's never been to the USA, but her passport is right now sitting at the embassy in Bogotá. And I have submitted the Interpol police certificate 5 days ago, and they said it takes about 10, maybe 10 days to 2 weeks. So in about another week or so, we should be getting information or a notice from the embassy in Bogotá that her visa is in her passport. We're just waiting on the embassy, and it's Christmas, so things are going to slow down at the embassy. You know, the Colombians, the U.S. embassy in Bogotá, they celebrate and they close for Colombian holidays and for American holidays. So they got it made over here. So we're at the mercy of the embassy and the Christmas holidays. Okay? That's where we're at. Hopefully by, I would say, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be in Florida. Samberdella, hi Diego, Delia, hi Diego, what's going on, Samber? What is going on in your neck of the woods? Arsenal forever. I mean, when I file taxes, I put mother as a dependent. You didn't say that. You're saying that now. If your mother is your dependent, do you claim her on your taxes? If your mother is your dependent and she's dependent upon you for food, electricity, gas, healthcare, and everything else, then when you fill out the I-134, you have to put your mom down as a dependent because she's on your tax return, which means that you got to meet a certain requirement. Your household went up by one person. Mr. Rody 14, great day, wonderful. Diego, me and my fiance arrived today from Malaysia. Whoa. Bien. Is it possible my fiance can work immediately? No. No, no, no. No. Or must we pay for her 2-year green card? You got to pay for the 2-year green card, and you got to, if you want her to work before the green card arrives, you got to include in your green card adjustment of status paperwork an EAD document, which is an employment authorization document. You can ask for a work permit, okay? And when the work permit arrives, then you can put your new wife to work. But you cannot work without a work permit or a green card. Okay, you got it. Mr. Rody 14, don't make that mistake. Jacob Myers, I got interrogated by the police to show my photo gallery because I had my phone outside and you can't take pictures of the embassy. It's a good thing I didn't have any pictures. Well, if you, in America, in the United States of America, if you are on a public right-of-way, on a public pavement, you can take pictures of any federal buildings you want. Okay? Now you might get some, you know, I don't know what you want to call this person, on their high horse that comes out and says, you can't take pictures of this federal building from this public right away. But you can, okay? Now, you're in the Philippines, so you're under Philippine law. You got to do what the Philippine government says. So apparently in the Philippines, you can't take pictures of the U.S. Embassy from a public right-of-way, so don't do it. Don't do it. Just give them your phone, let them look at it. But in the United States of America, you can take videos, pictures of any federal buildings you want, so long as you are on the public right-of-way and not on private property or federal property or state property. You got it? It's called the Fourth Amendment, and it's called the First Amendment. You got a First Amendment right to take the videos, and you got a Fourth Amendment right to protect the information on your phone without being unduly intruded upon. Mackenzie Owens, what if my fiance goes to the interview with copies of the NOA 1 and NOA 2? That's fine. Photocopies are good. You don't need the NOA 1 letter at the visa interview, but bring the NOA 2 letter. A copy is perfectly fine. The NOA 1 letter just says that the Louisville lockbox received your visa package. You didn't mess up anything. They sent it to the service center, and they gave you a receipt number. That's it. NOA one letters, just telling you that immigration got your package. The NOA two letter is very, very important. Okay, that's the approval letter. Sambadelia is very difficult to have interview in Senegal. Why is it difficult to have an interview in Senegal? Are they busy? Is it hard to schedule an appointment? What's going on? If you can't get an appointment in the next month or so, call your U.S. senator and have him help you. Michelle, I have my biometrics scheduled. Anything I should be prepared for? Michelle, when you go for your biometrics, make sure you bring your DS-160 confirmation page and your passport with you. You got to have your passport and your DS-160. Put the DS-160 in your biographic page of your passport. When you go to the biometrics, they'll open up your passport and they'll check the DS-160 to the passport and make sure it's you. Okay? And that's all you need, okay? Jason Mabry, hey Diego and Karina, got ready status? Way, not bad. That's good. Do I wait for packet 3, packet 4 before doing the DS-160? Need to be completed before scheduling the interview. What country, Jason? I think in India, if you get the ready status, you can just go ahead and start processing and see if you can schedule a visa interview. But in Colombia, you got to wait for the packet 3, packet 4 email. So it depends on the country. Let me see. Jen S. Diego, how about a state ID? To get a state ID, you got to have a social security number. Got to have a social security number to get a driver's license and a state ID. In Florida, I don't know about California. I mean, I think you can print your own state ID on your computer at home in California and you could get away with it. I don't know, but in Florida, they're very strict. Social security number will get you a state ID or a driver's license. Let me see. Nadi Olisa. Hi, Diego. I mailed my K1 petition April 2023. Okay, good. I got my NOA 1. It says received June 1st, 2023. Good. When can I expect the NOA 2? Okay, your NOA 1 letter is June 1st, 2023. I would say April or May of 2024, you'll get your NOA 2 letter. Jason Mabry, Ghana. Okay. So with Ghana, here's what I would do with Ghana. I would send the embassy an email and ask them for the packet 3, packet 4 email from them. If they don't respond to it, go ahead and start the process. Okay? Jacob Myers, LOL. It's so bad to be an overthinker. No, overthinking's good. Sometimes being an overthinker keeps you out of trouble. I wish I could take a pill to make it go away. No, it's okay. So many scenarios running through my head. Jacob, in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from now, you're going to be on the live stream telling everybody that your beneficiary's K1 visa was approved. Angel Tate. Hi, Diego and Karina. I still can't get an interview date, so I reached out to the embassy. This was their response. The interview date and time will be shared by the unit handling your case. The interview unit handling your case. That's an interesting response. In other words, they responded to your email, but they didn't answer your question. Susie Gomez. Hi, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Susie? What's up? Hold up. JS, Diego, if Karina gets the passport, are you flying before Christmas or waiting till January to go to Florida? Probably wait. Yeah, Karina said wait till January because plane tickets in December are crazy. I mean, it's like triple the price. An airline ticket to fly to the United States in December is like triple the price. It's crazy. We'll just hang out here, have New Year's, and then fly to Florida in the first week of January. Angel Tate, please provide a scanned copy of the National Visa Center appointment letter or the appointment instructions. That's your K1 FTP email received by the consulate showing the date, time of your appointment. Well, that's interesting also. So go ahead and try to schedule your interview. See what's going on. See if you can do it. Okay? Mr. Nahas, Jacob, drink a cup of coffee and relax. Don't be overthinking. That's right. Nadi Olisa, thank you, Diego. A good coach like you makes the process more understandable. Yeah, I'll coach you guys. I'll help you. And I've been through this twice. I'm not an immigration attorney, okay? I don't give you any legal advice. 0, 0. I say that just as a disclaimer, okay? But I've been through the K1 visa process twice and the spousal. I know how to do this. I can write the book on K1 visas. You know, I can write the book. I could get a job with USCIS, but I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Susie Galdamez, question: does the embassy of Nigeria, that's Lagos, is taking 9 months to 2 years for the appointment? That's when you got to get your congressman or your senator to step in and fix that. So you're not going to wait 2 years for a visa appointment. So you get in touch with your senator and your congressman or both and say, look, I've been waiting 2 years to get to this point. I'm not going to wait another 2 years. And your senator should help you. They will help you. That's why we pay tax money, right? We pay these people their salaries. Well, how much money does a U.S. senator make? $175,000 a year? And what do? They work what? 6 weeks out of the year? Put them to work. Jacob Myers, LOL, I don't drink coffee because my mind runs 1,000 miles an hour. Come on, Jacob. You can do this. Brian Gonzalez, Diego, I got an interview scheduled, but it is on the date my baby is born. What should I do? You go to the interview. You go to the visa interview and get the visa. That's more, I'm not saying it's more important. Your baby, the birth of your baby is important also. But your baby needs mom and dad, right? Together. So how does your new baby get mom and dad together? How? By that visa. Go to the visa interview and get that done so you can be reunited with your family and your new baby. Mr. Nahas is laughing. Miguel, is it necessary to have friends present at the wedding, or does having family as a witness suffice? It's up to you, Miguel. You know, I'm inviting my family, my brother's friends, my best man is my best friend, Karina. We'll probably have about, 6 to 10 people at our wedding, right? 10 personas, 12. Yeah, you don't need to have friends. If you don't have any friends, then you don't have to have friends. But I'm sure you have friends. But if you want to keep it private, a family affair, don't invite them. Brian Gonzalez, January 23rd, and my baby is expected to be due on January 21st. Okay, it's going to be good. You're going to get a visa and a new baby, all in the same weekend or the same period. Great news. Angel Tate, there's no interview dates available. I've been waiting for 2 weeks. Okay, so you keep looking, Angel. Keep looking. Twice a day. Don't look 3 times a day. 3 times is bad. You get locked out of the system for 72 hours. Check twice a day, and then boom, you're gonna find one day, very soon, an appointment's gonna open up. Arturo Morales, hi Diego and Karina, got your Interpol clearance? Yeah, we got the. See. Oh, 5 días pasado. A week. Last week we got the Interpol police certificate, and the day we got it at 7 o'clock at night. And then at 7:05 p.m., it was already in the U.S. Embassy. I had the email prepared and already written. All I was waiting on was that document. As soon as I got the Interpol police certificate, boom, it was at the embassy within 5 minutes. And now it's been a week. We're just waiting on we're waiting on the embassy to process Karina's passport. The passport's in the embassy. They just it's Bogotá is a busy place. The embassy's busy. So we're patient. My sputum cultivation result was extended from January 12th to January 18th. That's okay. Don't worry about that. An extension is nothing to worry about. Don't know what's going on. Don't worry, Arturo. It's just, it's work. It's a workload. When the embassies, the hospitals, everybody's got a workload. They got a work schedule to follow. Okay, so you're good. Don't worry about it. Like the embassy in Bogotá. I want Karina's passport like today. I want it like yesterday, but that ain't gonna happen. because we're in line, you know, behind other people who are ahead of us. Jacob, I've had 4 hours of sleep, but my body's running. Jacob, and when you get that visa done, go home, go back to your apartment in Manila and relax. Have some, what are those spring rolls called in the Philippines, Jacob, that are so delicious? What are they called? I can't remember, but they're good. Go eat some of those. Mr. Najas, Diego, no more waiting and waiting. Yeah, Mr. Najas, we are waiting and waiting and waiting. Now we're waiting for the embassy to put the visa in Karina's passport. It's a waiting game, never ending. Let me see. Hey, Sharon Persekian, look at that super chat. Hey, thank you, Sharon. We're going to put that with Francois' super chat, and we're going to go eat at the restaurant Danielle in northern Bogota. It was so good. I had fish and chips, and Karina had barbecue steak or something barbecue ribs. It was good. Thank you, Sharon, for that. And there's a number 20 right there. Thank you. Sharon, thank you. Karina's telling me I'm missing some questions here. Nadi Olisa, Diego, it doesn't work like that here in Nigeria. It's a whole different thing trying to get a senator on your case. No, you don't go and get a Nigerian senator. They ain't going to help you. You get a U.S. senator. You get a U.S. senator behind you, and you will find things will move a little quicker. But you got to prove that you've been waiting way above and beyond the amount of time you've been waiting. Okay? You don't, the U.S. senator is going to help you. Let me see here. Miguel, I asked because I thought immigration would like to have other people present for the witness versus having family. Miguel, as long as you got a marriage certificate and about 30 pictures of your wedding, and you get about at least 10 people in the pictures, you're good. You can have friends if you want, but if you don't have friends, you're good. Get the, I don't know. On my first K1 visa, I had a bunch of pictures. I submitted 30 pictures, but I didn't have any friends. It was basically just a bunch of people. I called up the local Latino church and said, "Hey, come over. I'm getting married. I need a bunch of people over here." So, you're good. Relax. And Karina, isn't she relaxed, guys? Look at her. She's just chilling here. This house was full of Karina's family today. And they made these things right here, which are Venezuelan Christmas packages with food inside it. I can't remember. They are called ayacas. And in Venezuela, on Christmas Day, they have ayacas for Christmas dinner. Okay? So Karina, this whole apartment was full of people. So I hid in the bedroom, and then all our family was making ayacas. And there you got 2 bowls full. So, oops, look. Yeah. It was like noisy, and it was fun. So I hid in the back bedroom. I don't know where the cat hid. The cat was hiding up in the roof, but I was hiding over here. But look how it's a great, and I tried one, and they're so delicious. Jacob, I would advise people to find groups in your country. People help post when interview dates open up. Yeah, that's true. Jacob, I would say that's true. That's what we had to do. Just have to be attentive to Facebook. If you got Facebook, okay, make sure you post your wedding on Facebook. Make sure you post, and get all those likes. Because if you don't invite friends to the wedding, all your friends on Facebook will be counted as inclusive for immigration. Okay? Francois Livingston is in the house. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Buenas noches, Francois in upstate New York. Now we're going to try to get Francois from upstate New York into North Carolina, because then she's going to get a massive pay raise, because she's not going to be being stuck with those massive taxes that the state of New York puts upon the citizens of New York State. They get taxed out of the whatever. It's insane. So we're going to get Francois into North Carolina so that she can get a massive pay raise, and the communist state of New York will no longer be taking her paychecks. I'm kidding. Bud Garcia, hello Diego and Karina from Washington State. What's going on, Bud? And your prometita's in Thailand, right? Isn't she in Thailand? Sharon Denise Persikian, hi Diego. I got the interview from my fiance. Good. That's great. See, it's coming together, right, Sharon? Everything's coming together like you said it would, and everything's going to be good. Soon you're going to be reunited. Lumpia, Jacob Myers, lumpia. That's right. The spring rolls, Filipino spring rolls, is called lumpia. Man, I could eat 20 a day. They're great. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody, guys. Samba. How will you know you are blocked not to check your cache? It'll tell you. If you keep going into the travel docs, US travel docs, and you go into that website and you keep logging in, trying to schedule an interview, it will block you and say you got to wait 72 hours. Okay? So just look at it twice a day, okay? Let's see. Jacob, but I don't eat the pork. Pork, you got to eat the pork, Jacob. That's in the lumpia. That's what makes lumpia, right? Pork. The pork, and what else goes in there? I don't know how they make it, but I'll eat it. You know, I look for the Philam Club where I live in Florida. I found the local Philam Club. I want to take Karina over there, and we're going to buy like 100 of these lumpia, put them in the freezer. And Karina's never ate lumpia before. Let me see. But hey, great job, Sharon, on getting your interview scheduled. Okay, I knew you were going to do it, so that's fantastic news. Miguel, when do you expect Karina to receive her passport? A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. It's Christmas. It's Christmas week. The embassy closes Boxing Day, Christmas Day, and whatever Colombian holidays they have too here. So things are going to slow down dramatically in the next week. Bud Garcia, yeah, she is. Yeah, she's in Thailand, right? Sergio E. Leon M. Hi Diego, how many days did it take from the ready status to the day you actually managed to see available appointments in the U.S. travel docs? Well, I didn't go into U.S. travel docs. I just waited for the email from the embassy, which was first I got the K1 FTP welcome letter from the embassy. I printed copies of that. Then I just waited for the U.S. embassy to send me the packet 3, packet 4, which was like 11 days. When I got the packet 3, packet 4, I clicked on those links. It took me to this link, which was probably the travel docs. I created the account in SEAT. Boom. I paid the visa fee. Boom. Then I got to the calendar to schedule the visa interview, and there was 1 day left on the calendar. That was November 16th of 2023. I'm like, man, there's only 1 day left. I better take that day before somebody jumps right on it. Boom, I took it. Then I scheduled the biometrics for November 8th. Boom, got that. I then called Karina and said, hey, I've got your visa interview scheduled and everything's good, but before that, I had filled out the DS-160 for her. But I filled it out because it's in English and Karina wouldn't understand the questions. So I called her up on my cell phone in WhatsApp, and we spent like 45 minutes. I asked her questions and she answered the questions. And then I submitted the DS-160 and printed the confirmation page. And then I used the confirmation page number plus the case number to schedule the visa interview. Let's see. Jacob, I don't eat lumpia because I don't eat pork. Jacob, okay, well, take the pork out of the lumpia and eat lumpia without pork. It's good. You learn to make it with chicken, pollo. Okay. So Jacob preparando lumpia con pollo. Ooh, it's different. Okay, it's good. Karina, we're going to eat it with pork. Karina said it's delicious, but she's it's different with chicken. Francois Livingston, any news on how slow or fast USCIS is moving these days. Well, they're processing September 2020. What are we in? 2023? September 2022 K1 visas. They're moving pretty much quicker than they were a year ago. You know, when we put the channel together, about a year ago, things were slow, but things are moving pretty fast now with USCIS. Then it goes to the NVC. When it gets to New Hampshire, the National Visa Center, it slows down a little bit because they're at the mercy of the embassy. Remember, the U.S. Embassy now controls the process. The NVC don't approve or disapprove visas. Only two places can approve or disapprove visas: USCIS at the service center or the embassy. That's the only two places. Okay? So when your visa gets to the NVC, they send you the K1 FTP welcome letter, they assign a case number, hopefully an invoice number too, and then they have to wait for the embassy to get freed up to accept the visa package. Is it getting faster? Yes, it's getting faster. Let me see. Francois, I know. Don't count time. Keep busy, but I had to ask. Francois, no, you're right. Number one, the secret to this K1 visa is be patient and don't count days. If you count days, you're going to get seriously a real bad headache. Don't count days, guys. Count months. Once a month's passed, say, okay, that's month 3, month 4, month 5. But do not count days. Just my opinion. You know, I was in the Navy. I would go to sea on a ship. I'd deploy, 4 or 5 months. And in all my shipmates said they're in their bunks at night counting days. So we've been at sea for 20 days. I'm like, seriously, you're going to go crazy. You know, we're on a 6-month deployment. We're on a 5-month deployment. As a month passes, I would get some white out. And the month passes, I draw a white line in my vocab and say, this month is gone. And then I got 4 months to go. But I never counted any days. New Fowl. Hi, Diego. New Fowl. What's going on in New Fowl's part of the world? Bud Garcia. How fast is NVC going? Depends on the embassy. The NVC can the NVC can only process case numbers and ship visas out depending on the workload at the embassy. So Thailand is, they're pretty busy. So it could take a couple of months for you. Okay. Jacob, me and my beneficiary are switching to a Mediterranean diet. Well, I ate a Mediterranean diet when I was in Italy. I was stationed in Sicily and I was stationed in Sardinia, and I also lived in Malta when I was a kid, and I got used to the Mediterranean diet. When I was in Greece, I ate the Mediterranean diet, and it is very, very good for you. So good job on doing that. New Fowl, do I have to wait till the Social Security issue me a number, then I can start adjustment of status? No. New Fowl, there are 2 ways you can get your beneficiary a Social Security number. When she arrives in the United States, okay, print the I-94 form. You got to have the I-94 form, very important. Make a photocopy of her K1 visa and a photocopy of the biographic page of her passport. Go to the Social Security Administration office in your town and ask for a Social Security number. Okay? The Social Security number is going to come in under her maiden name or his name. Okay? Now, the other way to do it is to file your adjustment of status paperwork and ask immigration to process your Social Security number. What happens in this case is immigration will process your green card either in Chicago, Phoenix, okay? Then they will notify the Social Security Administration to send Karina her Social Security number, her cedula, and the difference is it's going to be Karina's going to have my name on the Social Security card, not her maiden name, because she wants my name. Apellido mi nombre. Karina wants my last name. So we will file the green card, and I will have immigration send the paperwork over to Social Security Administration, and then her Social Security number will come in with her new apellido. Mi nombre. See?
No apellido.
Apellido. Okay, I can't say that word, okay? I got 2 false front teeth. Let's see what else we got. So go ahead, new file, and you can do it two ways. Social Security number. You can either go to the Social Security office and get it with the I-94 form, a copy of the K-1 and the passport, or just have immigration do it. Put them to work. There's a little box you can check. Please process my Social Security card. Then the second box says you have permission to share this information with the Social Security Administration. Jacob, LOL, you guys helped me to pass the time here. It's like 1,000 people here. Jacob, so I asked you not to count days during your K-1 visa process, right? And now what are you doing? You're counting people. 999, 1,000. Whoa, okay. Now can you speak Tagalog? Can you speak Filipino? Have a conversation with some of those people. Say hi to them. Miguel, how much earlier should one arrive before his or her interview? Well, if your interview is at 7 a.m. in the morning, be there an hour early, an hour before. So Karina's interview was at 7 a.m. in Bogotá, and she was at the embassy at 6 a.m. Okay? She was third in line. She was numero tres in Baja Estados Unidos. She was number 3 in line. It's good to get there early so you don't get stuck in this long line. Jason Maybury, avoid balut and pap and pag. Now balut, isn't that some kind of like a live baby chicken cooked in its egg or something? I'm not going to eat balut, but I'm going to eat lumpia all day long. But I'm staying busy, but it's costing me money because I'm redoing my kitchen. So you're getting the kitchen ready for your Thai wife. That's fantastic. She's going to make you a fantastic Thai curry, a red chicken hot, not American hot, Thai hot chicken curry. I'm going to make one for Karina. She knows. She already made one here. Jacob, balut is used for losing a bet. Yeah, you're right. Jacob, Diego should try balut. They say it's good for aging. No, I'm aging like good wine, man. You know, I like aging. The older I get, the wiser I get. You know, I make less dumb mistakes now than I did when I was young. Francois, Bud Garcia, you are funny. I am in the same boat with doing house projects to pass the days. Francois, that's good. Newfound, thank you so much. You're good. Sergio E. Leon M. Are we supposed to get an invoice number in addition to a case number? You should. From the NVC, you should. If you don't get the invoice number, you get your case number on your K1 FTP email, send an inquiry to the NVC and say, hey guys, can you send me an invoice number too? People say the invoice number doesn't apply to a K1, which is one is right. That's correct, and it's not correct. Some embassies ask for an invoice number, some embassies don't. The embassy, when I filled out Karina's DS-160, they asked me for the case number. Okay, that's it. You know, it depends on the embassy, but get it just in case you need it. I didn't need the invoice number. I needed the case number, and I needed the invoice number. I needed the case number correction, and I needed the number from the DS-160 to schedule the visa interview in Bogotá. So when I printed the DS-160, there was a number there, like a KT something number, and I had to put that number in plus the case number. I never needed an invoice number, but some embassies need it. Some ask for it. Whoop slap. Hey Diego, just checking in. What's up, Whoop slap? It has been rough. Me and Jude's filed the adjustment status on November 28th. They received, and we're doing biometrics on December 28th. Heard we'll get the green card in about 2 weeks. That's fast. So Whoop slap, you put together a very strong green card package, right? You included the marriage license or the marriage certificate. You included the I-94. You put your new wife on everything, the car, the title to the car, the house, the apartment, or whatever. You put her on the electric bill, light bill, water bill, the homeowners association. You got her a library card. You got her a CVS card. You got her whatever. She joined Sam's Club. You got her name, you got her a credit card as a beneficiary, right? You did all that. Boom, you get your green card quick. New foul. I've already requested one in my town. Now I will wait until I get my number. Then I can start adjustment of status. Okay. Hopefully you get it within the next week or two. So Jacob said a ballot is a fertilized duck egg. It's a duck, not a chicken. Okay, it's a duck. It's no pollo, it's pato. Okay, this is good. Miguel's talking to Whoop Slap. Bud Garcia, yes she is, and I can't wait. Whoop Slap, I know Miguel. I fly through the process. Jason Maybury, Balut is good for building abs because of all the vomiting. There you go. Now I hope YouTube don't censor me for 2 weeks because of that post. But it's the First Amendment, right? Good. So I'm going to eat lumpia, not whatever that other thing is, balut. I'll never eat it. Let me see. Jason Mabry should Google pag. Okay, I don't think so. I'll Google lumpia. I'm going to Google lumpia and try to figure out how to make lumpia because that's good. But I'm just going to stick to going over to the Philam Club and buying 100 and helping contribute some money to the Philam Club. My civic duty to help the ladies at the Philam Club because they do, they're Americans married to Americans, and they make these lumpia for people like me. And I'm going to introduce it to Karina, my beautiful prometida. Artur now in Albuquerque, New Mexico, right? Artur, you're from Algeria. You've been on the channel for about a year, 10 months. We got you through the process. You got your K1 visa. You flew to Albuquerque. Is it snowing in Albuquerque, New Mexico? And how did you adjust? Are you adjusting to the altitude? Now, in Algeria, you're at sea level. Albuquerque is 5,400 feet above sea level, somewhere like that. So in Albuquerque, you got to get your blood's going to be a little different processing oxygen. So you're going to feel tired a lot. So yeah, Artur from Algeria, now in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it is not snowing. That's good. I remember when I lived in Albuquerque every winter, it was snow. And I got stuck in my house. I couldn't drive. I was in the military. I couldn't drive. I was on Kirtland Air Force. Was it Kirtland? I think it was Kirtland. Whatever the Air Force base is in Albuquerque. I couldn't get to work. But Archer said it's cold. Yeah, it's freezing. It's bone cold, chilly in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, because you're up in the mountains. Now, if you double that, if you go up into the Sandia Mountains, then you're at the altitude that we're at right here in Bogotá. Jacob, I'm going to have to get my beneficiary canned oxygen from sea level to mile high. Yeah, mile high. You're going to be in Denver, Colorado, which is 5,000 plus feet above sea level. So going from the Philippines to Denver is going to be a massive adjustment on the body for your husband, okay? He's going to have to get, his blood is going to be at sea level. So now it's going to be at 5,000 plus feet. It's hard for it's going to take him 6 months to get acclimatized, okay? It took me at least 6 months to get acclimatized for Bogotá. I was here for 11 months. I got acclimatized and then I left. I had to go back to Florida to work, and then I came back and I'm back to back to mountain sickness, back to sleepy, back to dragging my feet. Jacob, let me see. Bud Garcia, when do you think I will get my welcome letter? NOA2 to welcome letter is 8 weeks to 12 weeks, Bud. Jacob, I'm going to have to get my beneficiary canned oxygen. And Bud Garcia, you missed my question. I saw it. I just caught it. Karina said, hey, you missed Bud's question. She's got this piece of paper and she sticks it under the question and I answer the question. Jacob, so Bud, you're going to have to wait 2 months to 3 months for the welcome letter, okay? 2 to 3 months. In 2 months, if you haven't received it, send an inquiry to the NVC and that will extend the welcome letter. That will extend the NOA-2 letter to indefinite. It extends it to the visa interview. Correction. Jacob. Jason, my fiance was telling me she was freezing today. Freezing? 72 degrees in Ghana. She don't know what is cold yet. Jason, 72 degrees. If she's cold in 72 degrees, I'm cold in 72 degrees. But, oof, I tell you, Jacob, 10 to 15 minutes seems to be a lot longer. If 10 to 15 minutes waiting for your beneficiary to come out of a visa interview is going to feel like an hour, maybe 2, but it's going to pass and you're going to get it done. Bud Garcia, thank you. Karina, okay, thank you. Good. No problem. Karina said no problem. So, come on, guys, throw some questions at me. We've talked about Lumpia. We've talked about wait times from NOA-2. We've talked about how things are speeding up at the USCIS. Things are getting much faster at USCIS, at the service centers. They are. They're getting K1s knocked out in what, 9-10 months. The problem comes in at the MDC because the embassies are now backlogged with work, like Bogotá. There's probably no visa interviews available till February of 2024 in Bogotá, Colombia. I was just lucky to get in there. You know, I logged on at home in Florida at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I looked and I'm like, okay, there's 1 day left, and I got it. Jacob, it is Bud Garcia. It is 39 degrees. Oof, that's cold, man. Jacob, I think it's because so many people here. Yeah, you're in a busy city. Manila, Philippines is a busy, busy place. Okay, it's the most populated the most populated city in the Philippines. It's the financial hub. It's the financial heartbeat of the Philippines. So it's going to be busy. Okay. Just like Bogotá is the financial hub of Colombia. All the banks are here, you know, all the financial transactions are going on here. So it's busy. Let me see. Whoop slap. It was funny. Every time my wife stepped outside, we were frozen, acting like she was going to survive. That's funny. She is acclimatizing now. That's good. But I'll be in shorts and no shirt, and she will be bundled up. Yeah, whoop slap, whoop slap. That's right. Karina has never experienced the Florida summer. She's experienced verano in Florida is muy caliente. Karina is used to summers in Venezuela. Karina's used to summers in Bogotá, Colombia. Now in Bogotá, Colombia, we don't have any seasons. There's no summer, there's no winter, there's no spring, there's no autumn. Bogotá, Colombia has no seasons. It's either warm or it's cold. It's depending on the cloud formations, okay? The clouds and the Earth's rotation and the sun obviously control the climate here in Bogotá. And there's no seasons. And the time is 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of night. There's no spring forward, fall back. There's none of that. It's an interesting place. We're very close to the equator, and we're high in the mountains, and we don't have any seasons. It's interesting. Let me see. Jason Mabry, the I-129F was a long wait, but now the process is moving faster than expected for us. Yeah, Jason. The service centers have hired a bunch of people. The director of USCIS, bless her heart, she hired all these new people, and it took 6 to 8, 9 months to train them. You don't want to send somebody who doesn't have a clue what they're doing to process a K1 visa. If you do, you're going to get problems. So first they had to be trained. So it took 6 to 8 months to train these 2,000, 3,000 employees that they hired. After 8 months, now they're fully trained. They know what they're doing. Hopefully, they're now processing visas and they're getting done. Boom, 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 boom. 400 or 500 a day instead of 400 or 500 a week. That's good news, right? So the I-129F is the form that you fill out to apply for the K1 visa. It's 13 pages. When you fill it out, make sure you don't make any mistakes. Make sure you sign the form, date the form. Make sure you use the correct addition, okay? Make sure you spell your beneficiary's name properly. Make sure you don't mess up her passport number, her date of birth. If you don't know the answer to, let's suppose on the I-129F, they ask you for the date of birth of your beneficiary's dad, but your beneficiary doesn't know the date of birth of her dad. So what are you going to put in that block? Unknown. Unknown. Okay? What if there's a question that doesn't apply to you on the I-129F? What are you going to put? NA. NA. Not applicable. Don't leave any spaces blank on the I-129F. Don't do that. When you fill it out completely. This is a big mistake that people make on the I-129F. This is causing people to get visas denied at the Service Center. Okay, listen up. The I-129F form is 13 pages. Now, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, you are an American citizen. You speak English and you're filling out the form. The last 2 pages, I believe it says, they ask you for the name of the translator. Did you use a translator? What's the translator's name? What's the translator's email address? Where does he live? What's her phone number? Some people say, well, I don't need a translator. I'm an American. I speak English. I don't need a translator. And they tear out those 2 pages and they throw them in the trash because they think it's not your translator. Immigration they'll get the form. If they don't catch it at Louisville, Texas, when it gets to adjudication at the Service Center, they'll look at it and go, where are these 2 pages? This form is not a legal document. It's missing page 11 and 12, and they'll send it back to you as an error. They may not deny it. They may just send it back to you, and then you got to start over and wait another 6-10 months. So when you fill out the I-129F, make sure you complete every single page. Okay? You don't need a translator. What are you going to put in the box for the translator? The name of the translator, NA. What's the translator's email address? NA. Where does he live? What's her phone number? NA. Okay, you got it? Do not discard any pages. Your visa will be rejected. Let me see. Let me see. Natty or Lisa, after I get my NOA2 next year, what's the next step? Then you got to wait for the National Visa Center welcome letter, the K1FTP. I don't know. I can't tell you how long it's going to take in 2024. I don't know, because it depends on how busy the embassy is. Which country, Natty or Lisa, is your beneficiary in? What country are we talking about? Jacob, made my beneficiary breakfast this morning. Was it lumpia without pork in it? But didn't really feed myself. Now I'm hungry. Jacob, you're outside the embassy in Manila. There's a McDonald's right down the street, right? Look down the street. Isn't there a McDonald's down the street? Go over to the McDonald's and get you a Big Mac and fries. Chloe, while waiting on interview, does the petitioner still need to do an inquiry? No, if you're waiting on an interview, what do you mean if you're waiting on an interview? No, if the embassy has told you there's no interview appointments available, after a month, send an email to the embassy, not to the NVC. Okay? You got to maintain contact with immigration. You got to stay in touch with them to keep your visa active. Francois Livingston, make sure you file after you meet face to face. Francois, you learned that the hard way, right? Make sure you meet each other face to face, then file the K1 visa package. Francois, don't worry, you got this, okay? Now, you're what, 5 months in now? You're going to be another 4 months to get your NOA2 letter, 3 to 4 months. Jason, Ghana has 2 seasons, hot and humid. There you go. She's going to freak out with the ever-changing weather in the south. Yeah, Florida, where I live in the Panhandle, it gets pretty cold in January and February. They do have a mini spring in March and April, and then in the summer it's just hot. I mean, Karina, in August, in Agosto, in verano, in Florida, Karina's, I already prepared it. It's hot. Beneficiary is in Nigeria. Okay, that's right, in Nigeria. That's right. There's a bit of a wait time, guys, for Nigeria. Jacob Myers, I'll wait for my beneficiary, then we'll celebrate. But you're hungry. What if you pass out in the street in Manila, and then the Philippine ambulance service rushes over, puts you in an ambulance, and takes you to the Manila hospital, and then they give you, and then basically what they do is they stop off on the way to McDonald's and buy you a hamburger. What are you going to do? Just get something to eat. Get some street food. Francois Livingston, 5 months down and entering the 6th month. Okay, so you're in the 6th month. Not much longer for you. 3 or 4 months, Francois. Okay. Francois, been to Florida in July and you can fly an egg on the driveway, in the driveway. Yeah, that's right. Francois, preparando huevos fritos in calle in Florida in verano. It's very hot. Jacob, left my whatever ambulance. You'll get there in 2 hours. Yeah, because of the traffic. The traffic's horrendous, right? In Manila, just like here in Bogotá. I see emergency vehicles stuck in traffic. But here in Bogotá, Colombia, they have bus lanes for Transmilenio. And sometimes the ambulance will sneak into the bus lane because it's all buses and it's wide open for an ambulance to get to the hospital. Let's see here. Francois has been to Florida. Yep, Bud Garcia. When should I do an inquiry to the MVC? My NOA 2 was October 20th. Do it today. Do it tonight. Send an inquiry tonight. Okay? Jacob. Yeah, the traffic's horrendous in Manila and in Bogotá. Marvel can't. What's interesting is that the U.S. Embassy will send an email and they'll say to the beneficiaries, don't forget to leave early for the embassy appointment because the traffic is horrendous. Marvel Campbell, hello Diego and Karina. Feliz lunes, happy Monday. Igual, thank you. Beto Trejo, hi Diego and Karina, congratulations on your case. Resolution, yeah, it's done. Karina's Venezuelan passport is in a safe somewhere, locked away in the archives of the U.S. Embassy in Bogotá, waiting on her visa. We have our interview the first week of January. Well, good deal, Beto. That's great. You're almost there. You've made it this far. Jacob, I don't see a bus lane, just cars, and they don't follow lines. It sounds like when I was in Italy. Okay, when I drove in Sicily, driving in the country was pretty easy. I didn't have a problem. But when I drove in Catania, in the main city in Sicily, oof, man, it was a nightmare. You have to go through. You don't stop for red lights. Okay, you go through the red lights. Zacco, hello Diego. Should the police certificate be original or a copy? Yes, it has to be original. These are the forms. Don't scan it. You can't scan a police certificate. It will not be accepted. These are the original documents you need for the visa interview. Okay, for the face-to-face, the scary visa interview. The I-134 Declaration of Financial Support must be the original form, signed in black ink and dated by your sponsor. Not a copy, not a PDF, not a scan. The original form, okay, for the I-134. Police certificates must be original, the original police certificates, not a scanned copy. The birth certificate of your beneficiary must be original, okay? Gotta have the original birth certificates plus copies, okay? Now, what can you scan to the, what documents can you scan to your beneficiary? You can scan the NOA 2 letter. You can scan a copy of your biographic page of your passport, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, proving your U.S. citizenship. You can scan your tax returns, your W-2s, your 1099s, your tax transcripts. You can scan those, okay? Make sure you bring original photos to the visa interview. The immigration officer, the consular officer may want to see evidence of your marriage. Evidence of your impending marriage. There was a person, I think the person was in Singapore, and they said, we need evidence of your wedding plans. What are your wedding plans? I had told this person in the past to do the emails to the courthouse and to whoever, and they were ready for that question. And I saved them from a massive 221G. They had their wedding plans in their little envelope, and she gave it to the immigration officer, the consul officer, and he took them out and he looked through the emails and he goes, okay, thank you. I saved them a 3-month 221G wait. They were very happy. They were watching this channel, I can assure you. Bud Garcia, is there an email for the MVC? Yeah, it's an MVC inquiry email. That's correct. Jacob, people should learn how to drive here for their U.S. driver's license. That's when I was in the Navy. I was driving in Sicily. I had to go through a what's known as a return to the United States class, where I was sat down and spent the whole day being told to get my mind changed back into being an American, not an Italian. And they spent 20 minutes telling me that, remember, in the United States, you cannot run red lights and drive up on the sidewalk. So that's true. Whoopslap, love you all. We have to go see family, wishing you all the best. Okay. And I know you will get to start your life with your loved ones. Karina and I will pronto in Florida, is correcto. No mucho tiempo más. Jason, Maybury sharing a bit of our K1 timeline. Okay. 10 months to get approved. 10 months is better than 16, right? So it was 16 months a year ago, 17, 18 months a year ago. Now it's 10 months. 1 month to hear from the MVC, boom. And 3 weeks to get ready status in Ghana. Fantastic. That's what we want to hear for everybody, including our friends who are like Denise Jefferson. Her future husband's in Nigeria. We got to help her get through this process without this long wait time. Francois Livingston, this is just a question. Can the beneficiary keep their original country of citizenship, or do they need to relinquish it once in the United States? No. Francois, you can keep your current, Karina's Venezuelan, but when she becomes an American, she's going to be an American with Venezuelan citizenship too. So she's not going to give up her Venezuelan citizenship. She'll have a dual nationality. She'll have, 2 passports, American and Venezuelan. No, you can keep your nationality. Some people, they relinquish their citizenship. Some people coming from Russia, they're saying, I don't want to be part of that country anymore. I'm done. And they relinquish Russian citizenship and become full Americans. But it's up to the beneficiary. Beto Trejo, thanks for your help, Diego. Definitely is a plus help. No problem, Beto. Natasha, hey, Diego, I started a new job in early November. Okay. But the first 3 weeks I was paid under the table. Okay. And they did not have that many hours. I currently only have 4 weeks of pay stubs to show and wanted to know if I should get my boss to write a letter. Yes, and yes. Natasha, get your boss to write a letter of employment. Either your boss or the HR. That's very important. Okay. Write a letter. I only make $23,000 and I do have a co-sponsor. Okay. I don't think I can provide bank statements. Well, if you have a joint sponsor, okay, make sure your joint sponsor makes enough money to cover your family size. The immigration officer the consul officer is probably not going to ask you for a letter from your boss or bank statements or pay stubs because you have a joint sponsor. Bring those things anyway, just in case as a backup. Bring them anyway to the embassy interview. But more than likely, they're not going to ask for it. So relax. And Nadia Lisa, 10 months, that's pretty fast. That's good. A year ago, it was 18 months from NOA1 to NOA2. Now it's 9 or 10 months. Hopefully it gets even faster. Especially for Francois Livingston, we want to get her K1 visa done quicker. Francois, thank you so much. When did you say the new income requirements are going to be updated? March of 2024 is when the federal government updates the minimum income requirements for K1 visas. Okay, it's actually for everything. So March of 2024 is when they will update the federal government. The CDC does it, I believe, Center for Disease Control. They update the income requirements minimum for K1 visas, March 2024. Bud Garcia, is 70 plus enough for two people? 70 degrees or $70,000? Definitely, you're good. Natasha, you don't need, I would get your boss to write a letter, sure, an employment letter, I would, but you're probably not going to need it. But get it done anyway, just in case. You never know. These embassy officers, they make up their own rules as they go along, sometimes. So my sponsor doesn't make enough for the three of us, but I was told we could combine our income. You cannot combine income. I think the only way you can combine income is if your sponsor lives with you. If your joint sponsor is a family member and you guys live together under the same roof, I think, I'm not for sure, I can't remember for sure, but I think that's the rule. But if your joint sponsor doesn't live with you and lives in a different house and has a different family, you cannot commingle the funds. I'm going to investigate for you. You gotta tell me, Natasha, does your joint sponsor live with you under the same roof or another place? Let me see. Brian, Diego, am I able to move the interview date? Sure. If you wanna, in the Philippines, you can only do it 3 times. In the Philippines, you can only change your interview 3 times. If you change it more than 3 times, you're going to get put in a 6-month wait because you keep jerking the immigration officer around. The embassy officer schedules his or her day from when you schedule the visa interview. You schedule the visa interview, that date's locked out and somebody else can't use it. It's locked out, it's for you. Now, if you go in and cancel it and then look for another day, that opens up that day for somebody else, and that totally discombobulates the embassy officer's day, because then they got to replan the day for you on another day. If you have a visa interview scheduled, stick to that day. Don't change it unless it's a medical emergency. $70,000 is enough for 2 people. Yes, Bud, you're right. And Natasha, does your joint sponsor live with you or not? Brian Gonzalez, Diego, am I able to move the interview date? Yeah, but I don't recommend it. Yeah, Natasha, she's my mom. Okay, I'm going to investigate for you, but I think you can. I think if you live together, if it's your mom, if you guys live under the same roof, I think you can combine the incomes. I think you can. So I think that's going to be not a problem, but I'm going to double check. And on the next live stream, I'll give you the answer. Elison Anonzio, what would be the case ID that is the US Travel Docs profile? The case ID that is on the case ID is the number you're going to need to schedule the visa interview with. When you fill out the DS-160, you're going to get a number on the DS-160. You're going to need that number plus the case ID number to schedule the visa interview. That's what that is for. And Bud Garcia, how can I prove that I get VA benefits? All I can show is it goes in my account. Print 12 months worth of bank statements, highlight those deposits from the VA, right? You get direct deposits, boom, every month from the VA, right? Like I get military retirement deposited into my account every month, okay? Get 12 months worth of bank statements, highlight those deposits. Make it the job so easy for the immigration officer. When they look at those bank statements, their eyes will go straight to the highlight, and then they'll see VA direct deposit. That covers you. That's proof of income. Let me see. Elysian Anozil, how are you? How are you all? We're good. We are good. Muy bien, gracias. Hunter Oda, Kiriko, Bean Los Tamales. So you like Oyacas? They're right here. These are Venezuelan Oyacas. I already ate 2. They're for Christmas, you know. So they're good. Let me see here. Danny Apple, Hi, Diego. My NOA 2 letter was on November 10th, 2023. When do you think I will get my MVC welcome letter? Probably this month. It's Christmas right now, but probably first week of January. And how much longer before my beneficiary comes to the U.S.? What country, Danny Apple? You got, guys, if you ask me a question, how long is it going to take for my beneficiary to get to the United States? Help me out a little bit and tell me what country you guys are, your beneficiaries from. Bud Garcia, will they count that because it is not taxed? They usually only count income that's taxed, but immigration, because when you file your tax return, that if you like, suppose you're on unemployment. If you're on unemployment, your unemployment money is taxed. You get a 1099, I believe you get from the state where you live. So that's counted as income for immigration. But if it's not taxed, I don't know. I'm not a CPA. I don't know if immigration will count it. But it's income that's coming into your house. Taxed or not, get those bank statements and include them. Okay? Let immigration make that decision. Okay? It's money coming into your house that you can use for your family. So I've got a good feeling they'll count it. They'll probably include it. ZZYZZ. I didn't get a welcome letter, but when I checked the MVC case number, case is ready. Should I fill out the DS-160 and book an appointment? Yeah. Which country are you talking about? If you're in Colombia, you got to wait for the packet 3 packet 4 email. If you're in India, go ahead and start the process. Beto Trejo, Diego, it looks good. Those tamales on the counter right here. Ayacas. They're Venezuelan ayacas, and they're good. You good cooking, Karina?
Yes.
Bueno. Yeah, yes. Karina made them. Yeah, look. Put it up at the camera, mi amor. Mira en camera.
Ayacas.
Aquí. Look at that. Inside there, okay, is protein.
Rico.
And it's delicious. And I'm gonna start. I don't know. I might sneak a few tonight in the middle of the night when Karina's sleeping. Okay, let me see. But I think they're gonna count that money. It's income. Okay, it's VA disability, right? Jacob, I'm so happy. So in theory, if I leave this spot, which I told my beneficiary I would meet him at, and I go eat, after I leave, he will come out. That's Murphy's Law, okay? That's how Murphy's Law works. As soon as you leave to go get something to eat, your beneficiary is going to come out of the embassy and he's going to look for you. And then he's going to have a panic attack. He's going to think you abandoned him. So stay right where you are and wait for it to get done, okay? Then go eat together, all right? Danny Apple, Philippines. Okay, the total process for the Philippines is taking about 18 months right now, 18 months. But Danny, be prepared for a sputum test in the Philippines. Your beneficiary will go to the Manila Extension Hospital in Manila and have a medical exam. There's a good possibility she may be asked for a sputum test, which could add 8 weeks to the process. Now, this is only happening in the Philippines. Okay, but you're on the right channel, getting the right information right here. So I'm just giving you a heads up, okay? Bud Garcia, yes, it is, Jacob. You said I would collapse. You could if you don't eat. What if you don't eat anything? If your blood is looking for sugar, right? If I don't eat, I get irritated. I get irritable. And Karina is like, you need to eat. And she makes great food, man. I am not going to go hungry in Florida. I got this big kitchen ready. Karina's waiting for her kitchen in Florida. Karina espera un cocina in Florida. She's been waiting 2 years to get in her kitchen. ZZYZZ, when and where do I need to fill out the I-134 form? That is required for the embassy interview. It's the Declaration of Financial Support and is a requirement to prove your income. The sponsor fills it out, not the beneficiary. On the beneficiary line where it says the beneficiary signs here, you put NA. The I-134 is a form filled out by the sponsor to prove that you make enough money, and it is a legal document that you sign and and you give the original to your beneficiary. So you fill it out right before the visa interview, a couple of weeks before. And if you plan on flying to the home country, bring it with you. If you don't plan on accompanying your beneficiary to the interview, or they won't let you in, fly there. Or if you don't fly there, make sure you send the I-134 document with your financial documents at least 3 months before the visa interview to give the paperwork time to clear customs. There was a lady, Jennifer, here in Bogotá. She didn't have her sponsor mailed the I-134 to her, but it got caught up in Colombian customs. And she's like at her medical exam telling us, I got my visa interview next week, but I don't have my I-134. It's stuck in customs in Bogotá. So make sure you mail those documents in plenty of time ahead so that your beneficiary can get it. But Danny April, thank you, Diego, no problem. Jacob Myers is laughing. Beto, yeah, these are good. Ayacas, they're Venezuelan. They're made every Christmas in Venezuela. Bud Garcia, do you think my fiance will be in the USA by June of 2024? Sure, there's a good possibility that will happen. And this is the positive channel. And I'm going to say yes at this point, because I'm seeing how things are progressing. Immigration, USCIS, they're processing visas pretty quickly. Okay, guys, I've been talking an hour and 15 minutes or so. We got 30 people on the channel. So that means if you give me 30 questions, I'll stick around. If not, Karina's going to make dinner. Tango Ambry. Janice, Ambry, Karina, and I are hungry, and we're talking about añacas and tamales and lumpia. So we're going to get ready for some dinner. Jacob says the whole live stream is still waiting. Dina Ali, hi Diego and Karina, what's that behind you? Dina Ali, welcome aboard. Tamales, they're close. These are ayacas. These are Venezuelan ayacas filled with chicken, beef, pimentos, onions, pork chicken. It's filled with so much stuff that I've already eaten 2. Okay, so they're Venezuelan Christmas delicacies. And ZZYZZ, thanks for your help. God bless you both. Same to you. Like Mexican tamales? I don't know. Oh yeah, Karina said yes. Karina said yes. They're like exactly right. Bud Garcia, have a good night. Diego and Karina, God bless you both. Same to you, Bud. Gracias. Jacob, so many different meats. Yeah, Jacob. And if Karina makes them for you, she promises she won't put pork in there. Okay, because you don't eat pork. How do they all go together? In my mouth, all together. That's how it goes. Okay, guys, catch you at the next live stream. And thanks for your time hanging out with us, and stay patient during this process. You will get your K1 visa. You'll get it as long as you qualify for the benefit. See you guys at the next live stream.